This is like running a Revolution Underground kind of vibe. I like it.
I love
the
it.
flag, but the suit.
It is. It is. And Augustus has that vibe, and that is what we're doing. And before we can have a revolution, we have to purge the elements of our movement that are traitorous, that are ultimately self-defeating. And that's what we're here to talk about today, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, of course. I will warn you, though. I did get retweeted by Chapman, and I did give him the number. I don't know what he's going to do, but I did say, look, if you want to talk, but I told him we're going to give you a couple minutes first with, of course, Johnny Benitez.
He can't talk, actually. If he did, it would be a violation of the restraining order that was assigned to us. He is not supposed to be contacting me. And so if he actually calls in, I will call the police, and I will have him arrested. He is not allowed to be doing that.
He's a bear fag.
Oh, okay. Well,
all right.
Well, he should know that then, I guess. He knows we have him. He knows we have you on, so that's, whatever it is.
Yeah, he started freaking out.
But yeah, so it's all good. So Johnny, what started this kind of precipitous downfall in the last couple months? Because we wanted to have you on 3 months ago about this. So this is not like new stuff that's been going on.
It's a good thing you didn't, because a lot of people are under the impression that this involves like a minor assault or maybe like a personality conflict between two right-wing leaders. This is a vast conspiracy, and I know that sounds ridiculous when you use that word, but I have, and remember, one thing I want your listeners and you guys to remember is that every assertion I will make is only something that I'll say because it's backed up by a screenshot that I have of a conversation, either a direct text to me, a text I have received from someone else, or a screenshot of a message. Some people have sent things into me, and so this is all confirmed. And how this started, actually, and why it started, I have no idea. But how it started was Kyle Chapman, when I was very small, when I just ran a Proud Boy chapter, was working behind the scenes to basically deplatform me from the very beginning. And I know this because of a text and multiple times that Luke Dennis, his lieutenant that was infiltrating me, sent it to me directly and then made it public on Facebook as well, that he had been infiltrating me and that they were keeping their enemies close because they believed that I was an infiltrator. And that's how it began.
Okay, and now was this what gave birth to the phrase Congo fisting?
I don't know what gave. I have no idea where that came from. That's actually Chris Egan, who's really interesting. Chris Egan is actually, when he showed up to our chapter, it was really suspicious because the first thing he ever did was he bought a plane ticket to go to the day of the last Berkeley, not the last Berkeley, but the first Berkeley after the last violent one, and he went there for violence, according to him, and he was provoking all these things And then later on, recently, he actually posted a picture of him in some like armored like bulletproof vest. And we did some digging, and it turns out that the model he was wearing is only available to police officers. And I'm not saying that's what he is, but a lot of people were suspicious about that. His behavior was very suspicious because he didn't show up to meetings. And as soon as this drama started, he immediately started fueling the fire on the side of Chapman.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask next. What happened at the Laguna Beach event?
If you got beef, take it somewhere else. All right? I'm here to talk about Benghazi Extortion 17.
Show some respect.
If you got some beef, take it somewhere else.
You're using their platform.
Well, he came to disrupt it, just like he threatened that he would. So he carried out the threat.
I'm not here for you.
This is white supremacy.
Who hurt you, Kim?
I'm facing prison time for what I did, and I
You're not facing shit, Kyle.
You're Antifa now. You're disrupting the Benghazi event.
Yeah, how patriotic is that?
If you were on our side, then why are you disrupting this, Kyle?
With Fred Perry's after you were kicked out of the Proud Boys.
He stepped down,
Nazi versus Nazi. This is the best. This shit's the best. Oh shit.
Because he don't want to take your fucking bullshit.
Guys, come on,
all
man.
your fucking
Not
videos you send.
everybody. Infighting. What's up? What's up? Listen up.
By doing that, he fulfilled like the cycle. Everything that's necessary to convict him is now there. When I arrived, I spoke because there was multiple police agencies there to protect the event. The sheriffs told me they had intelligence that someone, and I was like, oh, it's probably not the, I started with like, I'm not really worried about Antifa for this because this is Benghazi. And they were like, yes, we know Kyle Chapman, Proud Boys. They named Luke Dennis and they named some of the people that went. And then they said that they had got intel from other police agencies and their independent research and from higher level agencies, which I conclude to probably be the FBI. And so everybody knows, like the legal system knows that Kyle Chapman is a threat. And here's what I want to say about the restraining order. It was granted temporarily so that he he wouldn't have a permanent restraining order on his record when his court trial comes up for his Alameda thing. And why would they protect him when the legal system, when multiple police departments, when higher level agencies admit that they know that he's a threat, that he's done these things, and that these are crimes?
You're going to get fucking handled. I don't care if I do have one arm. Punks like that get handled. Let's get out of here, the way it is.
Man on man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if, in my opinion, being the figurehead that he is as far as publicly for the right and being involved in all these scuffles, living in liberal California,
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, the fact that he isn't getting Cantwell treatment is kind of suspect. Cantwell maced one guy,
and he's still in jail.
Still in jail.
6
you know
months.
What I mean?
And 6 months.
And I've already
I've
seen multiple videos of Kyle Chapman kind of slurred, and kind of throwing hands and kind of acting like, "Come on, bro, come on, bro." And when there's like literally people just standing around and just talking, amongst themselves, and it just seems to be very like the guy that's in his mid-40s that still goes to the old college he used to go to, and like tries to sell pot and like.
This one, questionable hairdo on that one. It's great being here on a hot day. You don't have to wear a lot of clothes,
So what are we gonna do now?
Beer. Beer. Oh, you don't drink,
time?
No.
I don't drink.
We don't drink. Both of us are sober. But we'll watch you drink. I don't.
You don't drink either?
No, we're both sober.
Really? Sober?
Sober.
Oh, AA?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I did that. I did that for a while.
No,
years ago.
I don't mind people drinking though. So let's go to it. We can go to the bar. I might take a little shower.
Where the ladies at?
We gotta figure out how to end.
You guys don't have
stream.
groupies?
Can't end the stream. We're so live.
Oh, you're married.
I'm married, right?
I just like to be around women. I don't necessarily have to be fucking them.
Yeah. I'm Bass Stickman.
Yes.
What's up?
Kirsten, nice to meet you.
Chris, yeah, pleasure to meet you. You a big supporter of Milo?
Definitely. Milo's
Nice. So what makes you able to live stream here for a bit?
What's that?
I said I'm going to live stream you for a bit. So,
oh, sweet. Okay.
That's a good question. So,
bang girls.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen the other videos that I think a Discord group made about him that aren't actually associated with me, and some of the other things. But some of the things that were revealed to me when we're digging through his history, there's actually a post where he tells, and I feel bad for this small business, where he says, "I'm going to be at this bar tonight, Antifa. If you want it, you better come with your heavy hitters." And not only does he post that in the name of the bar, therefore endangering this business, he actually pays to promote it. It was an ad.
Oh, he sponsored it?
Promote that. Huh?
He sponsored it on his. He paid for on Facebook for it or on Twitter and.
I think it was Facebook. It could be
Yeah.
Twitter. We have it. I don't know. I have so much evidence that the hardest part is digging through all of it.
Is this nigga trying to bring back bum fights?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's so weird.
oh God, I can't even. If I watch this guy anymore, I'm gonna fucking sock him. I can't even look at this dude anymore. I'm gonna fuck him up.
It's not just like me and Kyle. Kyle has a pattern of attacking people on the right physically through threats and extortion.
Okay. You're sitting there trying to fucking ruin a rally, get me kicked out of a rally.
No, actually, we're not trying to ruin you. We don't give a fuck about you. What I don't like is you going after Rich Black online Facebook, cussing him, threatening
Black's
him.
a fucking punk.
I don't fucking care.
Oh, hey. Come on.
Hey,
He's a fucking public menace.
It's insane that he's free right now. Kyle Chapman should literally be in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I mean it's once you're at a point where you're out and you're still dealing with your selling guns charge to a federal agent, and then you're getting in fights, and like again, there's a lot of videos.
The substance abuse, etc., was bad enough.
So what are we gonna do now?
Beer. Oh, you don't
beer
drink,
time?
no.
I don't drink.
We don't drink. Both of us are sober, but we'll watch you drink. I don't.
You don't drink either?
No, we're both sober.
Really? Sober?
Sober.
Oh, AA?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I did that for a while.
Between trying to get laid at every rally, getting coked up and taking pills, getting into fights and giving the green light on former members, you are better suited to leading a street gang than a right-wing political organization.
Where the ladies at?
We gotta figure out an
You guys don't have groupies?
Can't end the stream. We're so live.
Oh, you're married.
I'm married, right?
I just like to be around women. I don't necessarily have to be fucking them.
Again, there's Christopher Cantwell is locked up, and we're not Christopher Cantwell fans on this show, but fair is fair. That man right now is still locked up on a charge that is A, way flimsier, B, way less of a felony, and C, not really caught very well on camera or anything the way that some of this
there's no proof that it was even him. I don't know much about Cantwell, but when you see some of the minor details of the case, it's egregious what the state is doing.
Yeah,
it's awful.
I hope they have to write him a big check when he gets out. I really do. I'm one of those, dude. I like watching movies and rooting for the bad guy. If they're against the government, I'm like, yeah, get yours. Fuck them guys. Because, yeah, it's really ridiculous. And I see, again, I've watched a lot of videos, you know, and there's certain things you can't take out of context. And I've seen multiple videos of Kyle Chapman where he's kind of instigating the fight as opposed to, you know, I'm all about a bad motherfucker that can go out with us to a rally, and if somebody fucks with us, they're going to be in that rumble with us.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to go out and start. It's like hiring security when you run a club. You don't hire security that pick fights. You hire security that can end fights.
Right.
And get them
That
the
makes
fuck
sense.
out.
You're going to get fucking handled. I don't care if I do have one arm. Punks like that get handled.
Let's get out
That's the way it is.
Man on man.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, I mean, there is, to be fair here, it does seem like everybody is sort of jockeying for some sort of position or power within the movement, and that, you know, I mean, there's two sides to any division, right? I mean, I'm sure not everybody on both sides is totally innocent. I mean,
well, here's what I'll say about myself. When I started doing things, right, I didn't want to.
Johnny Benitez is a closet homosexual. All right, he's a faggot.
If you don't want to bring heat down on you, the worst thing that you could do is throw an event. Like, you can have podcasts, you can do any number of things, but because bringing events is public and because it brings it into real life, and that's what, like, the state fears the most, when you have an event, that is how you bring the absolute largest degree of heat on your back. And the only reason I did this because I was in the beginning just aiding other people and having events. And this is kind of where the Omar Navarro stuff happens too.
He's a bear fat.
Oh, you know what's funny about that, by the way? There's no, it's widely known and publicly has been said multiple times that the purpose of the Alt-Knights and their formation was to serve as a defense league, right? Like, if there's going to be a right-wing event, any right-wing event from normie to far right, that the Alt-Knights would serve as a defensive force to protect those events. In court, Kyle Chapman actually said that the purpose of the Alt-Knights was to celebrate Western culture as a fraternal order. So he basically pretended that he was the Proud Boys when there's everything out there that states that this was specifically a defense force. I mean, I had a shield made. We had actually, let me show you this thing. We had these fucking things constructed in my chapter. Like, he had physical standards. There's all this evidence that he has these things, and he's perjured himself multiple times in this courtroom. Perjury is a felony. This would be like the fourth or fifth felonious thing he has done that we can prove that he's done, and out on bail.
Johnny Benitez was one of our people in Folk, by the way. There is video of Kyle literally trying to gouge out his fucking eyes.
Hi.
What's up?
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, motherfucker?
I heard somewhere you were going to greenlight me.
Yeah, you already greenlighted. Why don't we walk outside and have a talk?
You want to kiss me, Kyle?
Yeah, why don't we walk outside and have a talk?
You want to kiss me?
Yeah, why don't we walk outside and have a talk, you little bitch?
You're really pushing me, Kyle.
Yeah, why don't we walk outside and have a talk?
This is kind of assault there, Kyle.
Why don't we walk outside and have a talk? Just you and me. This is right here, yeah.
You're really touching me, Kyle.
Why don't we walk outside and have a talk?
You're really putting your hands on me, Kyle.
Huh?
This is kind of assault.
Why? Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do, huh?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You said you greenlighted me. Huh? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You headbutted me. Now you've done all this thing. You did.
I didn't headbutt you.
You absolutely did. I didn't get up on your face.
We go outside and have a talk.
We were talking over there.
What are you going to do? You going to snitch?
Am I going to
snitch?
Snitch
You
on
call
what?
the cops?
Snitch on what?
Snitch or something?
What are you talking about?
You're a rat, dude.
I'm a
You're
rat.
Bitch. Yeah, you little bitch, boy.
Am I? You just touched me again. That's assault again.
I just pointed at you.
What are you going to do?
I pointed at you.
I didn't say
When
I
you
was...
walk-
You trying to gouge my eyes out.
Are you done? You done yet? Huh?
Get him off me. Eyes out.
Get your hands out. Who is it?
Are you gouging his eyes out?
Huh?
Yeah,
Gouging
he's
his
fucking
eyes?
putting his fingers in my eyes.
What are you doing that for?
Because he hit me.
From what I can tell, I mean, there is, to be fair here, it does seem like everybody is sort of jockeying for some sort of position or power within the movement, and that, you know, I mean, there's two sides to any division, right? I mean, I'm sure not everybody on both sides is totally innocent. I mean,
well, here's what I'll say about myself. When I started doing things, right, I didn't want to. If you don't want to bring heat down on you, the worst thing that you could do is throw an event. Like, you can have podcasts, you can do any number of things, but because bringing events is public and because it brings it into real life, and that's what, like, the state fears the most, when you have an event, that is how you bring the absolute largest degree of heat on your back. And the only reason I did this because I was in the beginning just aiding other people and having events. And this is kind of where the Omar Navarro stuff happens too. So there was an event in Fountain Valley where, you know, I helped put it on a little bit, but mostly it was Kerry Fleming and these other people, and they had this MAGA event, right? And I still thought that the MAGA movement would be a good way to address the main problem, which was illegal immigration. So here we are, and I approach Omar Navarro. I ask him what his plan is, and he doesn't have a plan. I go online and I see that it's like not even in his top 10. And then I hear Travis Allen speak. And Travis Allen says things like, we're a nation of immigrants, and he's basically stating that he's a liberal that wants to lower taxes. And to me, this is concerning. To me, this means that we don't have events that are going on that are addressing these problems. So I was forced to do events, and simply because our MAGA movement that the left is spewing is this movement that's trying to build a wall and do all this stuff, is saying things like, we want people to come here legally. We want legal immigrants to destroy the American workplace. So that's why I started throwing events. That's why I started doing things. Even when I was a part of the Proud Boys, I didn't make myself leader. It was just that over time, I took the initiative to carry out projects until people basically designated me de facto leader. But I never put myself in that position. So there's no real way for anyone to assert with any kind of evidence that was my intention or goal.
Okay, and now what got you into this political movement? How did you start down this road? I guess the best question is, we always ask everybody, when did you become red-pilled?
Sure. That's hard because it's a series of incidents, right? Mm-hmm. Like everybody knows at this point that I was on the left, and a lot of people were Obama voters that are now alt-right and stuff like that.
Right.
And what happens is you're in the thick of it. I mean, people are horrified by the things that they're seeing. You don't even know that the things that come out that you think are extreme are talked about years before in these forums and in these groups that I was a part of. And through experiencing ridiculous things like articles about how if you prefer women that have vaginas, that you're a bigot, and seeing the visceral hatred that I got as a person who was not black by black people in the leftist movement. I had started out as a libertarian, but because of Occupy not being used as a tool by the right, I eventually was driven to the left. You know, I was very young, and these ideas were sold to me. I started out against the TARP bailouts, and through association ended up doing all this stuff. But just time after time, you know, when you see these black people look at you and just hate you, like absolute hatred. These leftist blacks hate people that are not black more than anybody. And they didn't see me as a Latino. They didn't see me as brown. They saw me as white, and they hated me, even though I was on their side. And this brought it clear that something within the narrative was wrong. So I began in the Trump movement. I wanted to see if the accusations that I was hearing about Trump supporters were true, if there was really going to, you know, people were going to start lynching people again and all of this stuff. So I handed out flyers for an event to kind of be around these people in their natural environment and observe and listen to what they had to say. And some of the first people that came out were black conservatives, and they had no hatred at all. And no one had any hatred towards them. And that was probably the day, like the where the full like veil was lifted over my eyes, where I realized like I have to do a lot of reading now. I have to do a lot of learning what's going on this other side, because everything that I know is a lie. And that was the Battle of Bolsa Chica.
You try to gouge my eyes out. Hey, get him off me! You trying to gouge my fucking eyes out! Get your hands off him, dude. Are you gouging his eyes out? Huh? Yeah. Are you gouging his eyes out? Your fingers in my eyes. What are you doing that for? Come on. You hit me.
I don't want to let Omar Navarro off the hook. Omar Navarro started this. I believe that Omar Navarro was the first part of this conspiracy based on the text messages that we have and the messages that we received between him and another person.
Okay. I'm trying to remember Omar. Omar is, I think,
the guy who's running against Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
He looks like the fat kid from Up.
Now I have to pull him up.
Of course you do. Yeah, of course.
Omar Navarro. Oh, he really does.
Yeah, you looked him up. He does.
He really does. Here, Mike.
This is my origin story for Omar Navarro. Omar Navarro was literally the little kid from Up, but then after the Up movie ended, the old man molested him, and now he's this evil, like, politician guy.
Same suit, I think, too.
Oh, God. That's really funny.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, do you have anything else? I mean, you want to let anybody promote anything?
Oh, you want to
anybody...
plug anything, or?
Do I want to plug anything? Well, I don't know. We don't. Here's what's tragic. I was having so many successful events, and because of all of this, like, we don't have the capacity to do events right now. So I want to focus the efforts on taking down these people so that we can purify our movement, so that we can have people that have real ideologies. We really shouldn't be throwing the Fed man word around. But at this point, and I have to give Richard Spencer this, because I was not a Richard Spencer fan, and me and Augustus were all about uniting the right and working with these alt-right cucks and all this shit. And look how bad it got. So the first thing we actually have to do is build a movement. And unfortunately, there's no events. Everybody that does events is like Israel First, Ben Shapiro, Lauren Southern, Identity is for Europe, not for America people. Like this is what we have now. We've been reduced to nothing. And all we have is these people who just are famous, and people go to see them because they are famous, not because they have anything really revolutionary to say. So I am going to be working on an event, and I do want to get people's help to do it in about 2 months. And I'm going to try to get it done with Augustus. We don't have a name for it or a venue for it yet, and it might come out late to mid-spring. But we are going to be working on something. We just don't have any information to put it out yet. But it definitely will include some big names from the alt-right if all goes well, and I think it will.